got so much damage. Just the way you give it back in pieces. Oh God, it's only one love, Lord. Sit away and give it just so I give you. 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 Oh, fighting the split, some of them just stop and wonder how nice it would feel if they could have get it just for an hour. How nice that would be to have it, to hold it, to feel it.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Explicit, boy.
It is 7:45 and we are back with more talk time here on Activated Mornings. Usual morning commentary. Good morning to you, Lyf.
Good morning, Roleza. Good morning, Dianna. Good morning, listeners.
Morning.
So, Roleza, morning.
Yes,
Roleza and Dianna, yesterday, Dr. Godwin, the leader of the opposition, he was on radio where he outlined. So I listened. Well, I didn't listen. I read what was said after. So basically, he outlined some plans, and to be honest, some of them are not bad plans, right? So he says one plan is that he will give abdication. I don't think that's a bad plan, but maybe the duty-free concession could be extended to people in a sector that need vehicles to like basically upgrade the business. It's something that the government already done with the tourist people, but for public servants, that is not a bad idea to me. I saw someone saying, "Oh, it's a bad idea." I don't agree with that part. So that's not a bad idea. But I think that concessions could be offered to a sector like the farmers. You know, the government already offer the taxi drivers a really nice deal on brand new vehicles or whatever. So that's not a bad idea. But one of the ones I laugh at, right, is the $500 given to people, mothers who have a new baby. Now, a young lady was commenting on that. Actually, a young lady with a young baby was commenting on that. So she said, "Yeah, you have to take what you say. You have to take what you say to people, right? Because a lot of people sometimes misunderstand what you say. So maybe there's a young lady out there who thinks that's a good idea. So let me go get pregnant, and maybe she misunderstands it that she getting $500 regularly or whatever, and she runs off and has a kid just to get that, just to realize it's a one-off payment. $500. What exactly $500 could do for more than a newborn? I'm not too sure, because in the way things are, pampers or whatever, $500 for a woman to have a kid, I'm not sure how beneficial that will be, or how many boys will actually think about going to have a kid to get $500. One of the other things he said is VAT-free days. When I was speaking about VAT-free days, I was thinking, I think Barbados does something similar. So he picked two days that they're going to have VAT-free shopping. How this is actually going to benefit people in the long run, on the long term, I'm not sure. But 2 days, I'm not sure how that is actually going to benefit people. They also spoke about a practical idea to help people in the long term, but the VAT-free days is not here or there, whatever. But basically, now, the things he spoke about, the way that they would be funded, I don't think much discussion was placed on that. He was, and well, in the whole conversation was the mention of CBI again, which argument for CBI has been long and drawn out, and it basically comes back down to this is not a real practical way. As we go along the election campaign, we hear a lot of plans and ideas, but then we have to come back as right-thinking people and say to ourselves, how many of these things are actually practical? How many of these things will actually be implemented? And our politicians just saying things to fool us. So it was interesting to see some of the comments and some of the praises that were being lauded on the NDP for some of these suggestions. So I don't know what Carlos thinks about some of the things that was said yesterday in relation to, addressing the cost of living crisis that a lot of people claim to be suffering from. And in some instances, it's not clear. It's not clear because like a lot of goods and services in Stevenson has become extremely expensive over the years, especially during and after COVID. And what a lot of business places did is that COVID drove up the cost of products and services. But after COVID, like the cost fell regionally or internationally or whatever, but they did not fall locally. Persons just kept the prices at what they were instead of dropping them back. So as I said, I would like to see the feedback on what your mission is. Some of the plans and ideas that they're going to take, they're gonna do if they are to form government. And as I said, all of them were not bad ideas. I said I like the one with the duty transmission and the vehicle. Baby one, not so much. So yeah, that's my contribution this morning. I like to get a feedback on what people actually think about about some of the suggestions that we made.
All right, Lyf, thank you, and we will discuss it. We'll discuss after.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's invite him. So we have someone. Oh. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Morning, Roleza.
Morning, Stephanie.
Dianna,
Good morning.
among them, everybody. No, like Compton, you sound like you're marking NDP, man. Because this is be talking about constitution. Because the Prime Minister put together an independent day. You know to yourself is a joke. Most things that NDP saying the government don't have don't employ already. So you know that he out of frustration. And NDP has no merit. No, not at all. It really worthwhile what they really saying, because as I say, the Prime Minister don't implement a lot of them things already. So you could out of frustration and try to be more careful why we're talking, because he must well, we know Labour Party people want to take what he say and they want to believe what he say, because he would say when he last Sam passed it very well. He met big and bold when he tell us the government that doing this and doing that. He come and make big and bold, say he going and get raise $100,000.
All right, Stephen, we did not disconnect you. The call dropped. All right. So, all right.
I actually had a question for Stephen, but the lines are open. If you wish to go 5799997, and that is through WhatsApp or through the landline number. Life was asking. I don't know if you were saying you weren't clear on how. Oh, we have a call. So, hi, caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm all right. You?
I all right.
Okay.
I listened to the caller for the before them. Dave. So much good deals. Now you promise some school children $100,000 to help them buy books and food stuff and to go back to school. I believe that them thing where the opposition leader come with somebody writing them to him to bring to the fore, right? Because if you promise a constituency who tell Gonsalve that if he paint the street, they won't vote for him. And then the guy will run in the Southern Grenadine. He was father later and vote against the money put by the hub to build back the people them house. I would not do that. I would them to vote no that my constituency. I live in the Grenadines, in the Southern Grenadine. I go in and vote for it. I don't care the party that could get want to do. I did go in and vote. Them to vote no, I don't vote yet. Because how you want me now to go back to them people and tell them must vote for me, give me another term in office. And you're making promises and you can't fulfill the promises. What people gonna say? Put you in power, the same thing you're gonna do. One again come out, you ain't reaching government yet. You got position. Thing. So then, and he telling them they ain't getting enough money. So they're gonna come up positive and some negative. Have a good day.
All right. All right, caller.
Well, I mean, if you're going to say somebody writing for one, you could easily say somebody writing for the other. Just that's it. That's it, really.
All right. So my thought is where somebody is writing for them, but they're taking our suggestions on board, right? Dianna. So are we going to necessarily zone everything forward, and if they actually sound feasible to you? All right. So it doesn't matter who's putting forward the idea or where to get the ideas from, is if they are feasible and if you find that they're doable, right? Another point that he spoke about is the 100K for the children, based on Hurricane Beryl, right? What was pledged, I suppose, was the word. Maybe pledge is the word, right? Pledged to the students. Now, is it that we are going to be holding this one thing against the NDP till the bell, till the election, till the results come out? Are we going to be holding this against them? Or are we going to say, okay, they did not fulfill that because they would have had to raise those funds in whichever way they were going to raise those funds, right? Through pledges, they were supposed to be able to raise those funds. So are we going to hold this against them when we contrast it to what it is that they are putting forward now, which would benefit our students in relation to Hurricane Beryl? But the plans that they're putting forward now are going to benefit a greater majority of the population. So what is the balance of scale here, you know? So yeah, so that's why I ended up chuckling, right? Because it's just interesting how sometimes we think and we put forward our thoughts, right? Not knocking anybody, but it's just interesting to see how sometimes persons think. So yeah.
And we can take one more call, and after this, we will go out of this talk segment. And in just a few minutes, we are supposed to be conducting an interview with Marvin Fraser, the ULP candidate for East Kingston.
All right, and just before we leave though, that point that Lyf was making, all right, so let me take the call, and maybe at another time I'd finish that with the $500. Hi, caller, you have a minute. Sorry, but you have a minute.
Yes, you ever see somebody make the bedroom bigger than the hall?
The bedroom bigger than the hall. Yeah, you know, strange enough, some people do, but yeah.
Strange enough, that don't happen. Because if you had one time in the House of Parliament, he come up here and he speak about the playing field in Beckwith. Ralstel told him, Ralstel, you put $10,000, I can put 20. It never happened. Ralph put his own, but it never happened. So all them things promises with themselves good make. Because all them want to go their friends and their family. And some of the old fella policemen and all them people, they put back in them. You know what a president officer told me? He knew that president about 2 years ago, I retired him. And he told me he's going to vote for NDP now. Because he looking for get a contract back in the You hear me?
It sounds as if you are being dismissive and you're discounting the points that were put forward by the leader of the opposition. But if they don't say anything at all, right? If they don't come up with any plans at all, what do you think our conversation would be this morning instead?
But I had a conversation with him. And you know what he told me? When I asked him what he will do for the country, vote for them and I going to see. So if them win now, he didn't promise it, I can't get no wrong with him because he didn't promise me nothing. Now he said me vote for him and we going to
But you're hearing them now.
Yeah.
You are hearing them now.
Correction. Before I said Marvin Fraser is a candidate for East Kingston. It's Central Kingston, just to, make that correction. And with that, we are going to head out of this talk.